This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the 2016 Marcum MicroCap Conference in New York City. I have with me Robin Stacey from Cesca Therapeutics. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is KOOL, K-O-O-L. Robin, welcome back to SNNLive.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Shelley.
It's good to have you back. Let's go and get an overview first on the company for our audience, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so we are a regenerative medicine company. We're the product of a merger. Thermogenesis was one of the two companies, and Totipotent RX was the other. The two companies came together to form Cesca Therapeutics, and we're in the business of developing and marketing integrated systems for the delivery of stem cell therapies.
Which stem cell therapies have been in the news over the course of the last 18 months. Many companies are in it. What differentiates Cesca from the rest of the pack?
Well, we have 8 different clinical protocols at various stages of development, all with human data. Ours is an entirely autologous approach, which means that the donor and the recipient of the stem cells is the same individual. It's a single hospital visit in the operating room. It's a 90 to 120 minute procedure, and we provide a completely integrated solution for the physician to conduct the therapy. Our leading therapy is critical limb ischemia. Critical limb ischemia is the most severe form of peripheral artery disease, and next in line will be acute myocardial infarction, which of course is heart attack, and then beyond that we've got several orthopedic applications in development as well.
So I haven't seen you in a while. You want to bring me up to date on some of the things that have happened over the last several months?
Well, we struggled, frankly, with the integration of the two companies. The merger was not as smooth as we had anticipated. We've dealt with what I would categorize as a good number of housekeeping issues over the last 12 to 18 months. But while that's been going on, in the background, our clinical programs have continued to progress. We were granted FDA approval for our phase 3 pivotal trial, trial for critical limb ischemia last June by the FDA. We elected to not enroll the first patient actually in that trial. In November, we took a step back and have been revisiting various aspects of the design of that approved trial in order to ensure that we had the best possible prospects of a statistically significant outcome. I'm happy to announce that after 6 months of effort, we submitted yesterday a supplement to our IDE for the FDA, and we expect to hear back from them within 30 days.
So Robin, go into it a little bit in depth and explain it to our audience.
Okay. So our model as a company is to conduct our early clinical trial activity in India. We have 45 people in our New Delhi operation embedded in the Fortis Memorial Research Institute in New Delhi. And the 8 clinical protocols we have in development, all of the early work was done there. However, if we are successful in our feasibility work, our approach then is to bring that data to the US, to the FDA, and they will then hopefully grant us approval to begin a phase 3 or a pivotal clinical trial. That's the approach we took with critical limb ischemia. And the methodology is that you submit your IDE application to the agency, they review it, and they come back and grant you permission to begin the clinical trial. So we did that last June. We pulled back even after we got approval in November, and we submitted our IDE supplement last night, and we hope to get approval to start the trial before the end of the year.
Robin, Cesca is a company that's been around, and it's 2016, halfway through the year. Where do you think, milestone-wise, science-wise, the company will be by the end of 2017?
Well, our clinical programs, the clinical data is excellent. We're very happy with the clinical results we're getting for our cell therapies. The issue with our IDE really more evolves around the practicality of the choice of endpoint and ensuring that we get a viable commercial product at the end of it. The clinical science the science and the clinical data has been very compelling. My expectation is that we will get the approval from the FDA to conduct our phase 3 pivotal trial. The second trial that we have in the pipeline is acute myocardial infarction. 2 weeks ago, we issued a press release relating to a publication in a peer-reviewed journal of the results from our first patient study in India for acute myocardial infarction, and we expect to start a 40-patient trial, a safety study in India, within the next 6 to 9 months. I think those will be significant milestones for the company, and as capital and capacity allows, we have another 5 or 6 clinical protocols in the pipeline that we can move on with too.
So, what's the size of these markets that you're attacking?
So the total addressable market for the indications we have in development is around $16 billion. Critical limb ischemia alone is around $2 billion. The target patient population for Cesca Therapeutics are what are called no-option critical limb ischemia patients. Critical limb ischemia, for those that don't know, is the most severe form of peripheral artery disease, and our target patient population are people that have such severe critical limb ischemia that they are facing a near-term amputation, major limb amputation. Typically it's an amputation of a leg. Our focus is on those patients. There are 70,000 amputations associated with critical limb ischemia, major limb amputations associated with critical limb ischemia every single year, and our clinical data suggests that we should be able to significantly cut into that number. So $2 billion for critical limb ischemia, probably somewhere between 800 and $1 billion for acute myocardial infarction, and then the other indications collectively add up to about $16 billion in all.
Let's get your website for more information, if you would.
So the Cesca Therapeutics website is www.cescatherapeutics.com for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robin Stacey, Cesca Therapeutics. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is KOOL, K-O-O-L. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the 2016 Marcum MicroCap Conference in New York City. Robin, thanks for coming back.
Thank you very much for having me, Shelley.
You're quite welcome.